Hi, I'm sending you this message because at some point or other you bought a sensory story off me. So I'm Jo Grace, I run the sensory projects. It might have been one story years ago, it might have been 10 stories yesterday, and I thought I'd pop up as a little video rather than just type you an email because it feels a bit more personal, and I know that I'm sending this message to lots of people and I'm asking you all the same question, but I really want to ask you. It is really personal to me, even though there's so many of you that I'm contacting. And so so the question is a bit big. I want to tell you some things. I want to tell you that the Sensory Projects has now started publishing sensory stories from other authors. So if you haven't bought a story for a while, you might pop to the website and see that we've got an ever increasing library of stories. And I want to tell you that I've got an online sensory story training offering, which isn't the same as in-person training, but it's a reasonable compromise. So you might be interested in that also. But what I want to ask you is how you got on with the story. I'd like to know, who you shared it with, why you bought it. Do you have a loved one who has profound and multiple learning disabilities, or did you have a particular job? And then the reason why I want to know these things, and actually the question that I really want to ask, is harder to explain. So I'm about to do some research into identity and belonging for people with profound and multiple learning disabilities. I think that if you have a strong sense of personal identity, that facilitates your inclusion in groups, and so you are more likely to be in a position where you feel like you belong. Sorry about all the cars, I'm just waiting to pick my little boy up from school. So you can sort of see it, in your own life, if somebody's got a really strong sense of who they are, then the other people can understand who they are better and join them into a group better. And if somebody doesn't have a strong, like think about a teenager who hasn't really worked out who they are yet, who really tries to fit in with a group, but sort of loses themselves and their beliefs in doing that. So the idea is that if you have a sense of identity, that facilitates your inclusion and you're more likely to feel like you belong. And so my big tricky question is, do you think the stories can play any role in that? Is there something about sharing the story that makes you feel like you belong, or does it help somebody to know who they are? Did you see, as you shared the stories, that some people liked them and some people didn't, and that gave you a better sense of their identity? I would really love to hear from you, and if you would send an email back, it would make my Christmas. I would be fascinated to read them. So thanks very much for pressing play on a video. Have a lovely Christmas. All the best. Bye.